Alright. I'm gonna pull the starter off of this thing so I can get it sent off this week, get it rebuilt. I think in one of the other videos you'll see that it works, it turns the engine over, but it's dragging real bad, and it also sounds like the flywheel's pretty chewed up. Oh, that hurt. There we go. I know you guys that are subscribed and watching my videos, you're probably thinking, oh my God, this guy's like all over the place. And I am. I work all week, get home late, and my in-laws take care of picking up my two kids, one from school and one from daycare. And the one that's in school, he's 8, he's special needs. He's got, you know, he can't walk, he can't talk. He has a G button, which he does eat some stuff by mouth. In fact, a lot more now than he used to. But he has a therapist he sees twice a week. So thank goodness my in-laws pick him up from school and take him there twice a week, because I have to work, my wife has to work. And then when I get done in the evenings, I come home, and if I get home early from work, I'll come out and I'll try to work on something for YouTube. Otherwise, I usually have just enough time to come home, get a shower. Oh no, that went in the belly pan. Anyways, I'll have time to get a shower and then run over and pick up the two kids. And then I come home and have to feed them or whatever. If they hadn't already ate, you know, I'll feed them and tend to that stuff and get them ready for the next day at school. Which, if my wife works, she's yeah, there's no telling what all's inside of this thing. She leaves out early, so she's gone before the kids got to go to school. Oh, I see the washer down there in the pan. And so I get them dressed, get them ready for school or whatever activities they have for the day. I'm gonna have to get another bolt or fish that one out with a magnet. So yeah, on weekends, like this weekend in particular, my wife worked 3 days in a row, all day. So yesterday, you know, I can't just bring my kids outside and do stuff, because the 3-year-old girl, she'll pick up every tool I own, and I'll never see them again until I can mow the grass. And the 8-year-old, well, I can't just, you know, prop him up in a chair somewhere and just let him watch me. He needs to have activities and stuff, so I get him in the house and we watch shows, we work on his walking and stuff like that. And like this particular weekend, that's what I did all day yesterday. And today, thankfully, my mother-in-law decided she'd, you know, take him to church. Well, she takes him to church usually every Sunday morning, and she said she'd watch both of them till about 5 or so this evening, so I'd have time to get stuff done, which pretty much spent this part of the day. It's 2 o'clock. I spent from the time they left for church at 8 till 2 mowing grass. But it had to be done. It was getting pretty out of hand. And so I guess what I'm getting at is, when I have time every now and then to work on stuff out here for YouTube, I mean, it's a mad dash to do a little of this, do a little of that, hurry up and try to get this going. Let's work. You know, I try to do a little bit to everything, because that's all I have is little short bursts of time. I don't have a bunch of time just to sit down on one item. And the fact that you got parts and stuff you got to get, and you know, that project ain't going nowhere until you get parts for that. So then I have to jump on something else. This guy's supposed to be coming and getting this old Alice Chalmers today. In fact, I'm hoping he gets here pretty soon so I can move that out of the way, and that's one less thing to mow around. But so yeah, I do a lot of jumping around. I mean, I have maybe 1-2 days of the month, and I mean like a Saturday or a Sunday where I can actually spend the whole day and work on stuff. And once I get some parts gathered up, I will spend that time and make like a 30-45 minute long video, maybe longer, I don't know, of something I'm doing start to finish. Like the dozer, I should have the cap, the rotor, points, condenser and stuff just in the next few days. So hopefully, well, next weekend is the fishing trip. It's the family guys fishing trip. All the men in the family go, and I have to go to that. But hopefully one day this week maybe, or if I'm not gone all weekend, maybe one day of the weekend I'll start a video putting all the stuff in, setting the points, putting the battery back in it. Hopefully I'll have the starter back by then and try to see if I can get it to fire up and run. I know I can put it in gear and just roll it over with the starter and it'll move forward and backward like that. Now whether or not it'll steer, I don't know. I won't know until I get it running. But that's neither here nor there. That's for a later time. I'm gonna put together a video later on today of just pieces and parts I've recorded yesterday and today, and so I'll have something to post for you guys to look at. That little white van, I need to either see if I can get it to fire up, if I have to jump the starter, or just push it, but I got to get it up to the shop and get the starter out of that also, so I can get both these things to the shop at the same time. Which that belongs to a friend of mine. I'm just working on it for her so she can get it all street legal and stuff and take it to shows. But anyhow, I guess that's going to be it for now, guys. I need to finish mowing, and stay tuned for this video. When I get it all put together, I'll do some editing on it this evening, get it together, and hopefully it'll be on there today, which is Sunday. Hopefully it'll be on there tonight by around 6 or 7. Thanks for watching, and thanks to all my subscribers. Bye. Well, I measured my little diesel engine. It's not so little. It's not going to fit in here, which is fine. Then I'd have to hook up a radiator and all that good stuff. It just doesn't have the distance. So I'll probably just go back with an air-cooled engine like it had. And these things, I've watched some videos of them, and oh my god, they're really fast. Of course, one guy's had his modified, and he says it'll do like 65, and it looks like it's doing 65 in the video. There's no way I'd do that. Not with solid suspension and only rear brakes and the flotation tires. But now that's going to be one deal there that's going to be fun to seal around the brake rod. It'll have to have, I guess, just a rubber grommet. Just may end up having just mount a little bilge pump in it, because it's obviously going to have an electric start motor if possible. If not, I'll put a pull start, but I'd rather have electric start and have all the lights where they work. There's another. That seal's not sealing much. Oh, well, no, it don't seal at all. And it looks like it may have been bent. It's wore into the fiberglass above it. I'll have to see if I can adjust that. But I don't think it's going to be hard to make a frame for this thing. I mean, this is kind of thin metal. I don't know what that little plate said. It might have been the gear selector indicator. I'm not sure. There's one position, two. Well, 1, 2. It may just be forward, neutral, and reverse. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I was thinking it had another position, maybe high and a low range, but apparently it doesn't. All this has got to be cleaned up. Fluid put back in it. That is, I'm assuming, the seal for that. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool to get this thing going and actually be able to drive it in the pond and back out the other side. course, the ponds around here have pretty steep tank dams, so it's not like you're going to be going in at water level. But I got one I can go try it out on. I'll have to attach a rope to the bank or to a vehicle, so if it does sink, I can at least drag it back out. But this thing's going to be so cool when it's fixed. Alright, well, enough of that. Let's put this engine in it. No, let's not. It weighs a ton and this thing would sink for sure, like a rock. But anyhow, that's it for now. Stay tuned for more. I picked this little project up from a family friend of mine. He had got it as a little item to fix up and flip, and I guess it was a little more labor intensive than he wanted, and he's found another project, which was an old pontoon boat. He's big into fishing and boats and stuff, so he offered to sell this to me so he could use that money to buy the pontoon boat project. So that's how I ended up with this little Ford tractor. It's got a little Subaru 2-cylinder 13-horse diesel engine in it, and supposedly had a blown head gasket. The guy pulled the head off, well, the fuel tank's missing, the air cleaner assembly's missing, which I can get over all that stuff, but the biggest thing is the push rods are missing, and there's no way to ever find them. I've looked online at every place I can think of, and I cannot find these things anywhere. So I may end up actually having to make a set. But they're real short. They're only like 4.5 inches long. I think I can actually take some just like small block Chevy ones and cut them down and round the end and heat treat it, and they'll probably work just fine for this little thing. No more horsepower than it is. Air cleaner, I can probably buy one or a universal one and make that work. The head gasket came with the tractor and it's not blown, so I don't know what happened. It could have a cracked head or something like that, but here it is, and we will go from there.